Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Today, we are going to be talking about XRP in the crypto ecosystem. Let's go. Remember that none of this is financial advice. XRP sitting at $2.44. On the 7-day, we're doing good. We're up 14%. We were down to $2.13 just 7 days ago. But look at that chart. The market is responding well. Bitcoin right now at $100,648,000. Over the 7-day, we'll see that that chart looks pretty similar to XRP. If we were to look at Bitcoin, XRP, Gala, Flare, Gala Music, the charts all look dang near the same on the 7-day. Look at Gala. It's up on the 7 days. Flare up on the 7 days. Gala Music up on the 7-day. Pretty similar charts for tokens that are being all over the place in terms of market cap and tokenomics. Even though Flare had a similar code base to XRP, 100 billion tokens, I'd say it's nowhere near in the same category. XRP is a cross-border payments token, whereas Flare is a smart contract token offering DeFi solutions to other L1s that don't have smart contracts. It's pretty interesting. Gala Music. Gala projects are the only low caps that I'm involved in. Gala Music, Gala Film, Metaflora, Magneto HR, Osme. These are all projects I'm involved in. On a low scale, you know, you have things that are blue chips. You got your Gala, you got your XRP, you got your Bitcoin, and you feel a little bit safer having big bags of money in those. Because the deal with low caps is that when they fail, sometimes they go away for good. Sometimes the doors get closed. Now, I don't think that's gonna happen with any Gala project, especially one being made by Gala themselves. I think that their founder, the benefactor, is just gonna keep going until he gets it to work. We gotta remember that this guy was a part of MySpace Music and a part of Zynga, the guys who did Farmville on Facebook. And at one point they had 220 million users daily. We'll see what 2025 brings. Once we get regulatory clarity, I think the doors are gonna be opened there. I feel like people have been holding themselves back the same way that Ripple has been in a sense, due to the fact that they've been getting sued. Brad Garlinghouse just dropped a new interview where he said that he has signed more deals since Trump has been elected than he had previously in the last 6 months. Now, Zach Richter, he looked into the wording a little bit more and he said, this sounds like Ripple was signing deals while they were involved in the lawsuit with companies in the USA. I wasn't scared away from buying XRP, so I'm sure that there were some companies that weren't scared away from working with Ripple as well. Scared money don't make no money. Remember that. And that's the deal with these low cap projects too. Now, I'm not saying to go jump on a fart coin, you know, that's not my thing. I've never been one to play the silly names or the celebrity tokens or food tokens, anything like that, animal name tokens. It's just not for me. And of course, I covered the XRPL meme coins when they dropped. There's a lot of hype there. It's fun to cover some hype. I wouldn't sell your blue chips for a low cap, but if you have any money left on the side, I mean, even a few dollars of a low cap, if it hits a times 1,000, you did pretty good. Songbird, Gala Music, Gala Film, Osme. These tokens are new. Gala Music's market cap is $4.3 million. You compare that to an XRP with a market cap of a few hundred billion, that's a lot of room to run. You get some trickle down happening where some of these billions flow into the right places. And we know that the guy who created Gala is a billionaire. He's got some friends who are loading up. Gala's got multiple market makers who are stacking up tokens and they're holding, they're not selling. Ripple uses market makers. If you're a big company and you own a crypto token, you're using market makers. Otherwise, you're gonna get screwed. We've seen what happens to projects that release tokens. Even if there's some good hype around it, as soon as there's a legacy group of people who get what they've been promised in terms of token allocation, the token price generally tanks, which is why we've seen groups like Gala Film say that the first 3 months you can't sell without paying an outrageous fee because they don't want people to just dump the tokens. Flare did this. Flare was supposed to give everyone a 1-for-1 airdrop, and they started off kind of on the wrong foot of people by giving them a 15% airdrop. Now, of course, we'll see what DeFi Divi has to say that if you've been holding all this time, you would be up 5 times the amount of tokens would have been otherwise. And of course, there's differing schools of thought on this. Like, yeah, but the flare price goes down because people are selling every time they get the airdrop. Tough to know what the right answer is there. Honestly, DeFi hasn't been kind to me in my crypto career. Now, I got caught on a scam token, Wonderland DAO, which is messing with this thing called Magic Internet Money. That was their stablecoin. I should have known that was a scam. I played BlockFi as well, which allowed you to stake your Bitcoin, and then every day they'd be sending you pieces of Bitcoin. BlockFi failed. We saw what happened to Celsius, another centralized place. They failed. Now, Nexo's still going. It's not like going to a bank and applying for a bank loan where they ask you a boatload of questions about what your business does. It's not like that at all. All you need is the money for collateral. And there's something nice about that. It allows you to be free in the game, you know, to not have to go and apply. As long as you got the money, they'll give you that 30% loan. And you could get margin called. It happened to a lot of people when the SEC threw down the lawsuit to XRP. And that's one thing that I want to say here now. When everyone is screaming we're going to the moon, it gets a little concerning. We're at an awkward place right now, a place where what's going to happen? Bitcoin's sitting at 100,000 and it feels normal. The normies are still sidelined. XRP, $2.44. Everyone is in agreement that we are going to the moon. People are getting us ready to hold the bag at the top. I mean, it's going to be a local top. I don't want to round trip this cycle. I have a plan, and the thing is that it's just like the UFC. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Everyone's got a plan until their bag goes to an outrageous price. And when it does, your plan almost goes out the window. You remember that plan, but you revise it. Say, I'm just going to change it up a little bit. It's all good. We got all this money now. The most important part of this plan is to take some money off the top. You get a little greedy and you start saying things to yourself like, man, I could really just use it other times too. And you don't take any money off the top, you're going to come away feeling a little sad. You're going to come away grasping at straws. You're going to come away looking for another asset to dump your tokens into when this one flatlines or goes down. That way you can get that money back. And sometimes the game ends. I've always been of the notion that those who hold end up with better percentages than those who trade. And it made my life easy because all I had to do was dollar cost average and just buy assets I liked, which I kept it to a minimum. It's better to have 4 baskets with a lot of eggs rather than 20 baskets with a limited amount of eggs in each basket. Because when you get that big hit, it's going to be more if you have more assets in that basket. With that being said, we're here for XRP to do really well. Is the plan flying out the window? I had this plan where at $7 I was going to start selling and I was going to sell 5% of my bag. And then at $10 I was going to sell 5% of my bag. Now we're sitting here at $2.44 and everyone's screaming we're going to the moon. Am I losing conviction? No. Scared of round tripping? Yeah. Dude, to round trip is an embarrassing thing. It is and it isn't. I mean, you want something to come of this. It took a lot of time and energy to get here. To even get here took hairs turning gray, took relationships turning sour, took looking your own self in the mirror and taking things off the table that you would have bought yourself and dollar cost averaging into an imaginary asset. Something that's not tangible, that you can't touch, because you believed in the end goal for a new technology with a new system coming into place. The system was going to be led by an asset named XRP. I only invest in assets in the XRP ecosystem. I'm not an XLM guy. I don't own any XLM. I've covered quant. After quant left Twitter, I gotta say I was a lot less bullish on it. I just don't know why you would be feeling tribalistic enough to leave Twitter. Hire a social media manager and have somebody make little posts for you. There's only 14 million tokens in existence. It's pretty interesting. We'll see what it's able to do. It's another one of those tokens on the ISO 200 2022 protocol list. The deal is that there's gonna be a lot of tokens which survive. There's over 20,000 tokens now and most of them are garbage. Do I think the Hawk Tua token's gonna survive? By no means. Do I think Fartcoin's gonna survive? By no means. These things are gonna be gone. And if you're left holding the bag, your money's gonna be poof. It's gonna be gone, if it's not already. I've seen people talking about buying things. Oh yeah, you're getting Hawk 2 on the low. When she comes back online, you're gonna be looking pretty. That's ridiculous. You can only put so much makeup on a pig, friend. Okay, you put that lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. I like rocking with blue chips. I like rocking with things in the XRP ecosystem. Sologenic, they gave us an airdrop. People are hyped about that. I'm not a big solo guy either, you know? The thing about airdrop tokens for me is that's exactly what it was. It was an airdrop. Shows the value that it had. I'm here for them to do well. Songbird and Flare hit it times 100, times 1,000. That's a game changer. I'll be kicking myself for not owning more. But at the moment, I'm not gonna be running out and selling my XRP for anything. I really hope XRP surprises us. We have people who are saying we're gonna shoot up to an unreal price overnight, and that's not gonna be some slow grind. And the reason's gonna be that flip of the switch with all of the companies who are already using XRP with Ripple. The railroads are finally gonna start being used for this payment system. And that sounds incredible. I'm here for that. I don't know what's gonna happen. I could see $5, $7 being a top this cycle. If we got to $6, that would be a times 50 from the all-time low of 11 cents back in 2019. So we got to think about that, is that somebody at $6 is going to be getting their times 50. They bought at 11 cents, they sold at 5.50. That's the times 50. If you had put in $100, it turned into 5K. Nothing to be mad about there. If you had $1,000, it turned into 50K. Sometimes you got to take your wins, man. And if you're that person, I can't be mad at you. I'm going to be holding for later, but I'm going to be cashing some out when it hits that times 50 for sure. Like, I'm one of those guys. You have to take money off the top so you don't round trip. I can't say this enough. I think you should try to get on the XRP rich list for life. I leveraged myself for a long time so I could take part in this game because I wasn't where I wanted to be. What I knew was that you had to earn more so you could invest more. So I went back to school, got my degree. It didn't lead to me getting a better job pay-wise, to be honest. Now, I'm in a different category of work and I no longer have to work the long hours, which I did, or the multitude of jobs that I did. So in that sense, it worked out for me. Going to college is not what got me this job though. It was networking. I got this job because of somebody that I knew, and they were looking for somebody who they knew could do Excel and was a stand-up guy who would show up on time. That's been me. I've been rocking it for 3 years, ever since I got out of college. And that's really what college shows that you can do, really, is that you could show up every day. You could show up every day and you can get through meaningless tasks, and you could fucking keep grinding when other people quit. So my little stepbro told me, and I said, you know what? Prison says the same thing, man. You get out of prison, you beat your parole, you didn't kill nobody and have to serve an extra sentence, you damn near got your college degree right there. If that's all it means. If it's just virtue signaling to potential job hires, then you did your thing. And this is why I've always believed in crypto. I've never been a 401k guy. That just hasn't excited me. The average rate of life for a man in the USA is only like 62 years of life. But you're telling me I'm gonna have to work until I'm 60, potentially retire? Most people aren't gonna be able to retire. And I had this sad realization this cycle that even if I do really well, and I make a few mil, man, it won't be enough to retire. I'm too young. What would I be doing retired? I'd be paying things out of my bag, out of my pocket. I'd be paying health insurance for my family. I'd be paying dental. I'd be paying vision. This is what the job alleviates, man. It alleviates that pressure. So I've come to terms with the fact that I'm gonna be here at this job. And it's kind of taken some pressure off too, because I quit my job last cycle and I learned something from that. I really did. I thought my little founder's node existence was gonna be able to sustain me. And I thought the amount that I cashed up had been enough, and I round tripped hard. And I ended up having to get a job to support my family. I didn't have to sell my founder's notes. I didn't have to sell my assets. I didn't sell them properly. I didn't sell the top. So, you know, it hurt too bad to sell the bottom. I wasn't gonna sell for nothing because I didn't play the game right. Depending on what cycle number this is for you, even if you had any exposure last cycle, I would count that as a cycle. You got in the game. If you're sitting on the sideline and the coach calls your number and you go in the game and you get some snaps, you just gained experience for next season, bucko. You just gained experience. Nobody's taking that from you. So this is technically my third cycle. I bought the falling sword back in 2017, 2018. I got in at the very end and I learned something. I learned that when everyone's screaming that we're going to the moon, the stratosphere, and we're already at the moon, it's important to take a look around. Say, man, what's the rest of this percentage looking like? So if we get to $7 for XRP, that's no longer even a ×3. Getting up to $5 is a ×2 from here. Getting up to $7 is less than the ×3. Think about that. That's a blockchain backer target right there. He's gonna be talking about those Fibonacci's being reached. The 4.32 Fibonacci extension. We're reaching it at $7, at $10. We'll see what XRP is able to get out to based on what the math says. Now XRP could shock the world and just go on to fucking do great things. But we have to remember that its market cap is 200 billion. I've always thought market cap was bullshit anyways. But this is what people say. It's a tough thing to know what to do. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the person who has a crystal ball. I'm just the person who's sitting here talking to you about it. I don't know. I would love for it to work out for me. If I was able to get out of debt this cycle, still be in the top 10% on the XRP rich list, I'd consider that a win. I'm gonna be continuing to work anyways. So $7 to $10, to be honest, it's not gonna retire me. I believe in XRP long term. I think XRP is gonna be a great asset for the coming future. I think it's gonna be a 3 to 4 digit asset easily. Shit, it could be a 5 digit asset. It's gonna take time. It's not going to be overnight. I don't think it will be. I know people want to say that. I don't think it will be. I think that we're going to be fighting this game for a while, and there's going to be ups and downs. We're going to reach $10. We're going to go back to 3. People are going to be shitting themselves. There's going to be arbitrage opportunities. There's going to be opportunities for people to get in who missed out. This is an opportunity for you to get in. But once again, you hit that 5.5, someone's got a ×50. You get to $11, someone's got that ×100. That was only 5 years ago, summer of 2019. 5.5 years ago now. It's not too much time, man. That's always been the deal. If you can't buy an asset and sit on it for 5 to 10 years, you shouldn't be investing. Let's look at that with Gala Music and Gala. Flare. I mean, these were assets that were low, extremely low. Last cycle, Flare wasn't even around. Last cycle, Gala Music had just come out. End of the last cycle, they came out. Bitcoin, it's of course the OG. XRP's been around. These assets are doing good. Seriously, they are. I think there's a big chance here to make a ton of money. But whoever times the top and bottom perfectly, I didn't get in at 11 cents. That was a one-day wick. The whole summer, I was at 17 cents, at 22 cents. That was a great summer of buying XRP. It was a summer of pain. I was working as an Amazon delivery driver. When we get blessed with this insane life-changing wealth, we got a lot of people talking about what they're gonna do. Alex Cobb saying there's not gonna be enough Lamborghinis left. We're gonna run out of Lamborghinis. Yeah, no, I hear ya. It is fun to think about the grandeur. I decided that wasn't the life for me. I like those posts that say, when I get rich, there will be signs. And it's some dude with like an old 4x4 truck. You know, there's something nice about taking care of something that you had and you maintaining it. I'm not gonna be going to the car lot and buying a $100,000 car. You can get a Toyota Supra for 40K. That's plenty enough car for me, man. I'll take a used Supra over a $100,000 car any day. But what are you gonna do with your wealth? I mean, seriously, I think it's important to help people, to give back. I've never been one to just be giving away money to every homeless you see. I live in a big city. There's a lot of people out here, a lot of drug users. I don't think that's helping them. But whatever you could do, man, when you make it, it's not all about doing what Richard Hart did. and buying all the rollies. Buying out the Louis store. I'd rather take my cousin shopping and make sure him and his kid got everything they need, send him a few bucks. That would give me more happiness than going shopping at the Louis store, man. Costco got all the clothes I need. I'll take a $30 jacket at Costco over an old Louis jacket. I don't give a shit. So get your priorities straight. Try to have a plan in place and know that it's all gonna go out the window anyways. When you get punched in the face by that epic price action, good luck. Say hello to my little friend, and that little friend's gonna be greed. It's gonna be not knowing what the right thing to do is, but knowing that you want more of whatever the fuck it is that just happened. An epic price increase. When we check our bags and it goes up times 10, times 20, that's a good feeling, man. We see people doing this on Sol. They're round tripping all the time because they're doing meme coins. There's no liquidity to cash out. There's gonna be liquidity with XRP. You're gonna be able to cash out. There's liquidity with Gala. You're able to cash out. There's gonna be no problem with these assets that are big, that are liquid. Big things coming. Trump is gonna be taking office here soon. Gary Gensler is gonna be leaving office. Brad Garlinghouse says that politically, we have all the pieces we need in place to make things happen. Zach with Web3 Reviews. Thank you for being with us. Until next time.